I didn't sign the Constitution. I didn't sign the human rights in Canada. I didn't sign the Magna Carta. What does any of that stuff have to do with me? I'm going to make up a constitution right now and call it a constitution, and now everyone in the world is all bound to it. Ready? Everyone in the world has to send me $15,000 every 15 minutes for the rest of their life. Anyone want to sign that? Oh, you don't want to sign that? You don't want to be part of my contract? Well, what makes you think that you are part of my constitution then? What does that document that I just created have to do with you? Or to Ching Wong from Shanghai? Or Doug McCracken from Montreal? Constitution. You think that has anything to do with you? You think that upholds your rights? That 14th Amendment citizen? Pfft. Did you sign it? Did you send it into the government? Did you show them that it was notarized and that you want to be part of that contract? No? How do you think it applies to you then? Here in Canada, we've got human rights. You think that applies to me? I don't want their human rights. Thank you, but you can keep those. Sounds like a great benefit, but it is human rights. So just by the title I can tell that it is a benefit, not a right. Even if it was a right, why would I want a shade of man rights? Blech, they can keep those. Or trying to uphold the rights of a sovereign citizen? Watch how this plays out in court. Oh, this sovereign citizen thinks he's got it figured out? Ha ha ha! He's about 10% of the way. Oh, that sovereign citizen is trying to use that stuff in our court? Really? He's trying to play in our court? Ha ha ha! That's too funny. He didn't bring forth his own court? No, he didn't? Really? He wants to try and play his freeman and sovereign stuff in our legal courts? Aw, that is too cute. Yeah, throw him in jail. That is what they are doing. They are not afraid of the freemans and the sovereigns and all those kinds of things. The only one that they respect are those of mankind. 99.9999999% of the world is citizens. They have no idea what the law is. So, when that man or woman goes to court, he is a man or a woman. And when the judge says, "Are you Joe Brown?" and not realizing that the Joe Brown on the judge's paperwork is not the same Joe Brown that Joe Brown's mother and father named him, or I should say that the man or woman that had a son named Joe Brown born to them. So Joe goes ahead and says to the judge, "Yep, I am Joe Brown." And now that judge has got Joe Brown under what is called capitis maximus. Capitis maximus is the diminishment of one's status through the use of capitalization. Check this out. Capitis minimus, capitis medius, capitis maximus. This is all legal. This has nothing to do with law. Okay? Remember that. This is all legal. Within the Black's Law Dictionary, you can go ahead and look this up if you like. It is the use of capitalization in order to diminish the status of a man or a woman. For example, a man or woman, if they were to write their name out, would be all lowercase to signify that they are operating under their rights, sui juris. When a woman or a man goes and takes on a wife or a husband, they have now taken on that token as a wife or a husband, so now they can operate in their first legal capacity, which is capitis minimus. And to denote that, they capitalize the first letter of one's first and last name. That denotes capitis minimus, the capitalization of the first letter of the first and last name. That denotes capitis minimus. It identifies that one has duties and obligations to like a wife or a family and stuff like that. Under capitis minimus, does one still have their rights as a man or woman? Yes, of course they do. But when you take on that title, by default, you are now seen as a wife or a husband. Okay? Next is capitis medius. This occurs when a man or woman takes on citizenship. Okay? This is when a man or a woman becomes Mr. or Mrs., which is not to be confused with a Mr. or a Mrs. Gary, those sound exactly the same. Oh, does it? Well, they're not spelled the same. One of them was M.R. dot. The other one was M-I-S-T-E-R. M.R. dot is legal. M-I-S-T-E-R. See, it's a big difference. But what have you always been taught? MRS, dot, hard stop. That is legal. It is abbreviated. It is assumed. That dot makes it an abbreviated sentence. It makes an assumption, and it is not expressed.